Hey YouTube, I'm back to make another video. Sorry it took so long. I moved into my brother's house and he didn't have internet, and so I couldn't make any videos, but I am now. Um, I want to make this kind of quick. I made another video but it messed up, so now I have to make another one and I'm going to try to make it shorter. So I just want to tell you guys some spooky stories because it's almost Halloween and I've been dying to tell you guys scary stories forever. So it seems like a perfect time. So I think today I'm just going to tell you a couple quick experiences I've had. I only have like three kind of. So yeah, let's start. My first one, I'll start from when I was a kid. Um, First one that happened wasn't really, I don't know if it was real or not. It could have been a dream. What happened was I thought I saw a ghost when I was a kid. I was sleeping. Let me lay out how I slept. I slept in my parents' room with them when I was little because I was too scared to sleep alone. So, like when you walk into my parents' room, you would stand at the foot of my bed that I slept in, and my parents' bed would be like back in the corner. So, anyways, I remember sleeping and being woken up to some kind of noise. I didn't know what it was, some kind of rustling noise outside the room. I thought it was in the kitchen. I don't know. Anyways, I was facing the wall and I rolled over towards like the door. Like I rolled over and looked at the door and I noticed that it was cracked. So, and then I kind of moved my eyes a little bit and I saw a man standing like next to the door at the foot of my bed. It looked like an old man, just kind of pale grayish, like see-through. And I remember, I don't remember what he looked like, but I just remember he was pretty slender and tall and was wearing like a suit, like either like a gray suit or like a black one. Um, Not like real businessy or anything, just like a, you know, a suit. Anyways, he was standing at the foot of my bed by the door, and he was really tall, but it was like he was floating because I was looking at him and I noticed that like his knees down were gone, like they just faded away or just weren't there at all. And he was just staring at me, and I was like, what the? I didn't know what to think, and I wasn't really scared just because it was kind of weird and I didn't know what to do. So I just like rolled over and remember trying to go back to sleep and fell asleep. And that was it. I don't know if it was a dream or not. It seemed pretty detailed, and it was just really random. Like, I don't know why it would have been a dream. It just seems weird for a little kid to dream that. I was only probably like 6, 7 max. So I still remember it. Don't know what to think of it. It's always just going to be a mystery. So that was the first thing that happened. Second thing that happened that was the most significant, I guess you could say, like paranormal. I was about 16, didn't have a driver's license, just a permit, and me and my friend at the time decided to drive to my mother's cemetery and put some flowers on her grave. So since I didn't have a license, I decided to take my stepmom's car without her permission and drive up there. And so we went up there, put some flowers on her grave, and came back. We were by ourselves at the house. We went down into my basement room, which had like a pool table, couch, TV, treadmill, that kind of stuff. And we were hanging out down there. And I was doing homework, and all of a sudden, while she was on the treadmill listening to music, I heard 3 knocks on one of the doors. There's 2 doors that go into that room. One is a hollow door, and it's at the base of the stairs that go upstairs, and the other one goes into the garage, and it's a more solid wooden door. So I was sitting there, and I heard 3 knocks on the hollow door. I know it was the hollow door. And I'm like, did you hear that? She didn't hear anything. I was like, okay, that was weird. So we went back to our business. A minute later, I heard it again, and I was like, okay, for real, there's something. Like, what the hell is that? So we went and checked the house. Like, we were getting scared. Like, I had a bar in my hand that I found in the basement room and was gonna like bash someone in the head if they jumped out of the closet. We were creeped out. So nothing. All the doors were locked. No one in the house. We went back to our business. happened again, and it was just really weird. Like, it happened like 4 times, and every time it was distinct, like knock, knock, knock. It was actually faster than that. It was like knock, knock, knock. I don't know. It was really weird, and what made me so mad was like I was the only one that heard it, so I felt like a little crazy. Um, I I don't know what it was. I like to think it was maybe my mom pissed off at me that I like stole a car just to go to her grave. I don't know. It was spooky. It wasn't really like really scary, but just weird. Anyways, that was when I was about 16. And the last thing, um, like 2 weeks ago, I don't know. It probably wasn't paranormal, but it was weird, so I'll like tell it anyways. I went over to my friend DJ's house, and his house is like legit haunted. Like it's an old like Victorian. I gotta stop saying like. I'm sorry. It's like it's an old Victorian like home. I'll show you a picture of it sometime. Maybe I can get him to do some videos with me because he has some crazy stories. Anyways, so I was over there and I wanted to go camping, and he has a bunch of land behind his property, and he has a camp spot out there. So we decided to go camping. You have to go through like woods and on this little trail that they made to the camp spot, and so we went camping out there, pitched a tent, just me and him, and I was already spooked out because he told me some crazy stories that about those woods. One of them was on the trail that we were walking. His brother and his dad were out there on four-wheelers. They were driving by and saw a woman and like holding a little boy's hand, just standing there on the trail when they went by, like pale white, no expression on their face, and they went back to see if they were still there. They weren't there. Anyways, that was pretty crazy. And that was on the same trail that goes to where we were camping. Anyways, so we were camping. It was pitch black, spooky. Finally go to bed. I can't fall asleep. DJ like goes straight to bed. Of course, leaves me there like to hear all the crazy noises out in the woods. So I finally fall asleep, and I get woken up. This is how I wake up after being spooked out to begin with. I get woken up to hearing freaking like footsteps walking like because our heads were facing like towards where the trail was and our feet were towards like the campfire. We were in a tent. And so I get woken up to hearing like footsteps coming from like the trail area walking right next to my tent because I was close to like a ledge that goes to like a creek. Walking right past my side of the tent and goes over to I listened, I was awake and I heard it walk over to the campfire area. And I was like, oh my God. Like, my first thought was it was a crazy person, like, checking out our tent because the trail, there's also a trail that's pretty close that goes to, like, a dirt road where people live and all that kind of stuff. So I was trying to wake him up because I was worried because the stupid idiot left all our weapons outside when I told him to bring them in before we went to bed the night before, and of course he didn't. So we had like a hunter's knife and an axe just laying out there for someone to take and chop us up with. So I tried to was like nudging him really quietly, trying to wake him up, and I was like, "There's someone out here," and he jumped up and was like, "Hey, hey, hey! Like who's there?" And opened up the tent, nothing. So it was pretty weird, and we finally went back to bed. The only weird really thing was like I thought I'm like, okay, it was probably like deer or some kind of animal because we're out in the woods. But the only weird thing was that um like I heard two noises. I heard the one walk around my side of the tent and then stop, and then I also heard like where it came from, like some kind of noise, like rustling around, maybe a couple footsteps or something. And the crazy thing is that it didn't make any more noises. Like after he woke up and like opened the tent and called out, because I was listening. I was like wide awake after that, and we didn't hear anything move after it stopped. Like it walked and stopped. We yelled out, and it didn't make any more noises. If it was an animal, yeah, it could have walked away, but it was such heavy footsteps that if it did walk away, we would have heard something. Like if it was a deer and we spooked it, it would have ran off or something. But no, the noises just stopped. And he told me last night, he told me last night that where his brother and dad saw the like ghost lady and the little boy was really close to where our camp spot was. Like it was on the trail right before you get to where we were camping, and that's where the noises came from was the trail. Oh my gosh, it was so creepy. Like it was so annoying. I'm so mad that that's how I woke up. Like I was already scared to begin with, and then I get woken up to freaking footsteps. Like I was so paranoid to go to sleep that night. Like I didn't want to hear any noises because I was by myself pretty much because he was knocked out. And of course, I get woken up to freaking footsteps walking right next to my tent. It was crazy. So I don't really know if that was paranormal. I thought it was kind of weird. He thought it was kind of weird. He was trying to not really say anything because he didn't want to creep me out. But he's like, yeah, that was pretty spooky. So, anyways, those are my kind of like 3 experiences. Not too wild, but that's all I got. Because apparently ghosts don't want to talk to me, but everybody else around me, they do. I have some pretty I have some pretty cool stories that um, my dad has told me, and DJ has some pretty crazy stories. So hopefully I can make another video before Halloween, maybe on Halloween, about those. So I hope you enjoyed those. I will talk to you later. Bye bye.